Welcome everybody to our Yin Yoga practice today. My name is Eleni. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we will be using 2 blocks in a yoga blanket or a beach towel for our short and sweet lower body practice. Our first shape today is a butterfly pose, bringing the feet together and the knees wide. Feel free to rest the palms or the forearms on the blocks and then find a gentle hinge forward here from the hips. Finding our first edge, trying not to go too deep, too fast, but slowly and incrementally making our way into a deeper fold if that feels right for your body today. So props are a wonderful way to support our practice here. If we don't have traditional yoga blocks, you can always use a pillow or 2. You can also use a bolster here as well. And then as we start to fold, begin to release the head and the neck. If it's comfortable for you, bringing the chin towards the chest. So allowing that deeper stretch through the back of the neck. Bringing awareness through the physical body and noticing where we feel sensation arise. Perhaps we notice sensation in the hips or throughout the back if we're folding. And then allowing ourselves some space here just to explore the posture internally. Noticing our breath here. Inviting a sense of settling. A sense of stillness within the dynamic movements of the tissue. Slowly begin to release. We'll unfurl here, lengthening the spine, bringing the feet wide here, and windshield wiper the knees right to left to shift through the hips. From here, go ahead and release. And we'll make space here, coming onto our mats in a tabletop position, coming into a couple rounds of cat-cow, drawing the belly towards the earth on the inhale and rounding the spine on the exhale. Moving with your breath here, noticing the spine and that wave-like motion, gentle and slow. And from here, we'll make our way into our Swan Pose or Sleeping Swan, bringing our right knee behind the right wrist, settling the hips here. Frontal hip points are level, or we can bring a prop here to support that right hip. And then we'll start to release the torso towards the earth, softening the forehead either on a block or stacked hands. So this is just one variation of this pose. Of course, if this is too intense for the knees or we have sensitive knees, feel free to take this variation on your back where you cross the right ankle over the left thigh, coming into a figure 4 variation. And take movement as you need to, and then find that settling place where we can move into a state of stillness and observation. And as you draw your awareness into the physical body, noticing our hip joints after we did our butterfly pose, and now we're stretching a little bit deeper in a different way. And working with our breath as a tool to deepen. Perhaps inviting the yogic breath, the 3 parts breath, breathing through the belly, the ribs, and the chest. And then exhaling the chest, the ribs, the belly. And please move as you need to adjust. This is your practice using your body's wisdom. We'll start to lift the torso here and wiggle that left leg around so that our right foot is toward the left inner thigh. And if you are on your back, we'll come up as well. So this is our head to knee pose here. You can bring a block underneath that left knee or a rolled up blanket if that feels good. And we'll start to fold here over the left thigh. So the ankle is in line with the hip here. We're keeping our leg in alignment for head to knee. But feel free to sit up on a blanket here, especially if we have any type of low back issue. We want to elevate the hips higher than the knees. Noticing that sensation behind the thigh. And on the next breath, start to lengthen here and release the legs, extending the legs out, maybe baby bends here or windshield wiper through the feet. Find a nice counter stretch for you. And then back onto hands and knees as we rock the hips right to left. We'll set up for the other side, left knee behind the left wrist, coming onto our block here or any support for the forehead or upper body. Sleeping swan. Of course, you can come onto your back and take that other variation, which is figure 4 on the left side. Perhaps we notice how this side feels a little bit different than the other. We can always modify here to make sure that we're comfortable, we feel safe. If there's any type of sharp sensation or pain, that is our body's cue to back out modify or change the shape. So although Yin Yoga does find the edge and works with a sense of edginess, we don't want to push the body beyond its limits in any means. This is a practice for exploration and titration. So Goldilocks method, not too much, not too little, but just right. And we'll slowly walk the hands back, swiveling onto that left hip, extending the right leg forward for our head to knee pose. Once again, feel free to bend that right knee. You can support it with a blanket or a block. If you're comfortable folding here, start to hinge from the hips. We fold the torso over the right thigh. Scanning the body here, noticing where we land in this shape. How does it feel through the back and the lengthening of the vertebrae? The back of the thigh and the hamstring area. Are there any points of tension that we can release or soften, relax just a little bit more? And is there any way that we may be able to support the body or the breath in any way? A lot of forward folds may not feel the best, especially if we have stuff going on with our back. So feel free to take these postures without the forward fold. We do lose the stretch through the back when we take the fold out, but that is perfectly fine. Slowly begin to release. Palms come behind the body. Take your variation of a counter pose, whether that's windshield wipering the knees or extending the legs out. Finding a preference here. And then we'll come back through our seat. So feel free to elevate hips, sitting on a blanket. We'll come into our Dragonfly Pose or Straddle Pose, bringing the legs out. And then hinging forward from the hips once again. So using blocks to support the upper body, we use blocks to bring the earth to us. And it helps us titrate into the shape. So we're not going into the deepest variation that we're capable of at first, because that is very shocking to the body and will actually make the body clench up and do the opposite of our intention here, which is slow progress, slow opening, release of the tissue, widening and relaxing over time. Breathing here, sending the breath through the inner thigh area And on our next breath, we'll slowly lengthen here, releasing our blocks, using the palms to bring the knees in. Big tick-tock here, windshield wiper right to left. And then slowly coming down onto the back, hugging the knees into the chest. Rocking here right to left if that feels good. Happy baby pose, grabbing outer edges of the feet or the shins, keeping the low back and the shoulder blades grounded to the earth. The neck is nice and long. Releasing happy baby, knees can hug in here. And then finding your variation of a resting pose. Today I will be coming into constructive rest position with the feet wide and the knees tucked in towards one another. You can also extend the legs out or support the knees with blocks or a pillow. And then just feel the softening here, the releasing and letting go of our practice, the physicality of the practice, the doingness. And start to allow the body to just receive in this moment. Soaking up all the benefits of the practice by allowing the body to settle and release and relax. And slowly begin to reawaken, wiggling the toes, the fingers, the ankles, and the wrist. Maybe the arms overhead, the toes point forward, and then hugging the knees to the chest. Little rock here, right to left, as we rock onto one side of the body and gently press up through our seated posture. Reaching the arms overhead and bringing the hands to the heart space. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Wishing you peace, love, and light on your journey. Thank you.